Good. I think it's still good morning. It is. And thank you for your patience. We had an extended closed session this morning. And so we'll commence now our morning, soon to be afternoon, soon to be evening meeting. Tony, could you please call the roll?
Jimenez,
Present.
Morales,
Here.
Cohen,
Here.
Carrasco,
Here.
Davis,
Here.
Esparza,
Here.
Arenas, Foley,
Here.
Mahan,
Here.
Jones,
Present.
Liccardo.
Present.
Thank you.
If you're able to stand, please join us for the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge of allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. We do have some morning ceremonial items. I apologize. I think I might have misled some colleagues who had asked. It appears we have both morning and afternoon ceremonials. Is that correct? Yes. Okay. So first, we'll start with Councilmember Morales, and I'll ask him to join us at the podium to recognize and commend the COVID-19 Recovery Task Force and Lived Experience Group. And I think we have several members of our community who are here.
I invite everybody who is here from the task force to come on down. And as they're making their way down, I will begin. So today it is my pleasure to present this commendation to the 55 members of the COVID-19 Recovery Task Force and 9 members of the Lived Experience Group for their commitment to our city. Back in March 2021, my colleagues on the council and I approved the formation of the task force using the Greater Downtown San Jose Economic Recovery Task Force and the Health and Racial Equity Task Force as a model. The main goals for the task force, the main goals for the citywide cross-sector community-based task force were to share information about the city's existing recovery resources and to develop other strategies and recommendations to help stabilize and strengthen families, workers, and small businesses. The task force began meeting in November of 2021, and in the course of a year, they met 12 times and established 9 committees to address community issues, including housing, childcare, health and wellness, and supporting workers and small businesses. Meaningful community engagement was the cornerstone of this process, and the task force recruited 9 community leaders with lived experience related to the COVID-19 pandemic to help connect with those in our community most impacted by the pandemic. Thanks to them, the task force was able to engage with 1,500 community members this summer, providing important community input that resulted in the development of 88 recommendations for the City Council to consider in advancing community and economic recovery. We are very thankful to the members of the task force and the Lived Experience Group for their commitment to our community and for showing an unmatched and tremendous heart during this year-long process. And now, I, along with my colleagues and the mayor, would like to present this commendation to the COVID-19 Task Force for all their dedication and commitment to our city. We are honored to have the following Task Force and Lived Experience Group members here with us today. We may have a couple more that have decided to join us. Speaking on behalf of the group will be Yvonne Perez. We also have Jesus Flores, Monique Melchor, Ben Roschke, Matthew Reed, Gerard Manuel, Ruben Escalante, Dolores Alvarado, Raimundo Espinoza, Frederick Lang, Ali Lopez, Victoria Ramirez, and the Lived Experience Group, Christina Bui, Rosa Cordova, Oswaldo Moreno, Viviana Barnwell, and Ellen Rollins. And if anybody else has joined us, forgive me for not knowing in advance. And I invite you all to join in for a photo after Yvonne says a few words.
Thank you for that. Little short here. Thank you, Councilmember Morales. So I want to take this award and thank you. I also want to say for a community to thrive during diversity, you need, for a community to thrive during adversity, you need diversity, inclusion, equity, and resiliency. And our task force and the Live Experience group is a representation of all of that. I understand that we were super busy. We had a lot of things to address and take care of, but your time, effort, and dedication to your community and to ensure that your community's needs were heard, it's a show, an illustration of your true commitment to your community. And I just want to say thank you. It has been a pleasure to work with all of you. And thank you to the city for being open to listening to the community. And I just want to say that our work has just begun. So thank you. You have a good day.
One more. All right. Got it.
Okay, thank you to all of our hardworking community leaders. Now, Councilmember Esparza is going to do some pinch hitting, I believe. She's kind enough to step in for Councilmember Arenas to recognize and proclaim Elimination of Violence Against Women and Human Rights Day. And we do have some community members, I believe, who are also here for that commemoration. No worries.
So nice to see some people in person. We have some special guests joining us. Today, I'm honored to recognize and retroactively proclaim November 25th as International Day for the Elimination of Violence Against Women, which runs through Human Rights Day until December 10th. On behalf of Councilmember Sylvia Arenas, who could not be here this morning. The International Day for the Elimination of Violence Against Women marks the launch of the Unite campaign, which is from November 25th to December 10th. And that's an initiative of 16 days of activism, concluding on the day that commemorates International Human Rights Day on December 10th. This campaign, led by the United Nations Secretary General and United Nations Women since 2008, calls for a global action to increase awareness, promote advocacy against gender-based violence. This is the third year the city has recognized this proclamation, and this year, the campaign's theme is Unite, activism to end violence against women and girls, and encourages supporting and investing in strong, autonomous women's rights organizations and feminist movements. Gender-based violence remains the most pervasive human rights violation and has increasingly impacted millions of women, girls, and marginalized people around the world. 1 in 3 women will experience gender-based violence during their lifetime. More than 5 women or girls are killed every hour by someone in their own family. And less than 40% of women who experience violence seek help of any sort. Additionally, women and girls from historically marginalized communities, including people of color, people with disabilities, and people who identify as LGBTQ+, are disproportionately affected by gender-based violence. And so in order to eliminate this violence, we must begin the work in our own city. In the city of San Jose, we have partnered and coordinated with Santa Clara County through special joint meetings to better support survivors of gender-based violence by implementing system improvements and survivor-centered policies in close partnership with community advocacy agencies. We are so proud to have worked closely with our administration to develop and implement a gender-based violence response and strategy work plan, which has successfully created and implemented system improvements that make a real difference in the lives of survivors. However, this would not have been possible without the hard work, dedication, and support of community partners like Zonta E-Club of Silicon Valley, who are committed to eliminating violence by mentoring and empowering young women in our community. And today, we have Faye Mayos and Linda Watanabe from Zonta E-Club of Silicon Valley joining us today. Thank you so much for amplifying the voices of survivors to prevent violence against women and protecting women and human rights. With that, I'd like to pass it to Faye to say a few words.
Thank you, Mayor Ricardo and Supervisor. I'm Faye Mellos, and I'm here with my colleague Linda Watanabe. We represent the Zonta Club, E-Club of Silicon Valley. Zonta is an international women organization made up of professionals, mostly women, and our sole goal is to advance the status and empower women and girls around the world. We have consultative status with the United Nations, so we participate in most of their initiatives, and the 16 Days of Violence is one of the initiatives that Zonta works on from November 25th to December 10th each year. It's Orange the World, so we in the past have had this City Hall here in San Jose orange, City Hall in Berkeley, and City Hall in San Francisco orange too, and to bring attention to gender-based violence. The Zonta, and I just want to let everybody know that Zonta is a membership-only club, and any working professional can join Zonta at zonta.org. Thank you.
And finally, I believe there's a presentation from our library team. Is that right, Joe? Am I mistaken? There is. Okay. Yes. So we got a truckload of books here because we got. I'm presenting? Oh, I'm presenting. Oh, okay. Oh, that's nice. Oh, thank you. All right. So I want to invite my colleagues who are departing with us. There's 6 of us who are getting out of here. You won't have us to kick around here anymore. And so I wanted to invite our Vice Mayor, Councilmember Esparza, Councilmember Perales, and, well, I guess, yeah, Councilmember Mahan will hang around. Let's see here. I'm trying to remember now. Did I get the number wrong? Oh, Councilmember Carrasco, who stepped in the back. And Councilmember Reyes, who is not with us. So that's why we're, all right. There's 4 of us, and that's still a quorum. So, so these are offerings of our favorite books. We've all been asked to identify our favorite books, and these will join the circulation at the library as in order to ensure that our favorites will continue to be read here in the city of San Jose. Jennifer, you look like you're ready to say something. No. Oh, you're after me. Okay. Well, I'm going to save the long-winded speeches because I know we got a long-winded meeting coming up. But I just want to say this has been an honor of a lifetime to serve, and I'm grateful to been able to serve with some of the most incredibly dedicated, talented human beings on the planet. And thank you for serving with me. So I'm going to turn over the mic here to my colleagues. Well, Jennifer, do you want to jump in first?
Oh, yeah, I just wanted to also thank Jill. Yeah. It's just a lot going on today. I just wanted to thank Jill Bourne, our library director, and her team for putting this together. It is a tradition we've been doing for years, and I want to thank you very much. And then we'll turn it back over to you.
Yeah, we're all on the spot here. I've been able to see these offerings now a number of times since I've been on the council, so it is tremendous. Thank you, Jill, for doing this, our library for being able to put out in the world there a little bit of what we enjoy and what has made us who we are. I know some of the books that I've chosen both for myself, and then they've also asked us for children's books, which I've become more acquainted to over the last few years. Now are going to be out there for the rest of our community to enjoy. So, but yeah, it's been a pleasure as well, and I look forward to the rest of our meeting today.
I just want to say, first of all, that it's been a real honor to serve with the mayor and my council colleagues. It's a wonderful, collaborative experience for me. And, you know, I'm getting really sentimental. I've been thinking about over the last 8 years and all the great relationships that I was able to make and working with some of the most talented people on the face of the earth. So this is really a great opportunity to really express my appreciation. And also, I'm excited about you know, having some of my favorite books going to the library, particularly the #1 favorite book of all time for me, Oh, the Places You'll Go by Dr. Seuss. That's been my roadmap for my whole life in terms of dealing with life. So again, thank you very much.
All right, we're shy. I just want to say thank you to the city team. You've been amazing. Thank you to my colleagues. It's been a huge honor and a privilege to serve, especially during the challenging last few years, global pandemic, and everything else that has faced our communities. I'd like to especially thank the other members. We've had 5 women on the city council that have fought for women in San Jose and Santa Clara County. And I'd also like to thank the historic 5 Latinos that have sat on the city council in the last 4 years. We call ourselves the Equity Caucus. And so I'd really like to thank my fellow Equity Caucus members. One of the goals that we started out with was to really change how the city made its decisions to bring more equity throughout our city. And when we talk about books, the books that we handed out, a lot of, we bought stacks of them, were The Color of Law and The Devil in Silicon Valley, to really educate others on how our city had become divided and how we can come together and bridge those divides. Thank you.
Thank you. Quickly, I just want to echo some of the comments that Councilmember Esparza made, that for me, it's been such an honor to serve with a fantastic group of women and a fantastic group of folks who really felt that we needed to move the needle on the issues of equity. I've been incredibly proud to have served as the council member for the east side of San Jose. And thank you, Mayor, for having appointed me as your vice mayor for 2 years. The whole intent of me occupying this seat was really to make sure that the east side of San Jose was not forgotten as the rest of the city was moving forward. I want to thank the city. I want to thank my colleagues, Mayor, truly for making sure that the east side of San Jose stays on the map, stays on people's radar, and that the issues that we experience with our families and our children, truly, if we don't address them, then the rest of the city of San Jose doesn't have the bright future that we hope that it will have. You cannot forget about the most marginalized individuals in the city of San Jose or the most marginalized communities and think that we're moving forward. We have to bring everyone along, and I want to thank every single one of you who really, truly has embraced this and has made it their North Star as you continue to work in the city of San Jose. In terms of the books, I will tell you, one of my favorite books, I have 4 children that I've raised, plus all my godchildren and nephews and nieces, and one of the books that I've always read to them was I'll Love You Forever. And to me, it's symbolic. It's not just about loving your parents and honoring them, and after everything that they've given to you. And I want to thank all of you also for your support as my mother transitioned during the time that I was here in council. It was one of the most difficult moments in my life. But it's really symbolic about how we give to our communities. And so I love this book. It always brings me to tears. I think of my parents, but I also think of the children out there that need us unconditionally. And I think of the community that gives back so much to us. Sometimes when we're completely unaware that we're receiving, we're actually being enriched by their very generous gifts of us. Thank you so much. Thank you for 8 amazing years. Truly, I take with me wonderful relationships, wonderful experiences. Some of the most proudest moments happened during these last 8 years. Thank you.
Hey everyone, I'm Jill Bourne, City Librarian. I'm just going to jump in because we didn't prepare our wonderful mayor enough to kick this off. Just so everyone knows, this is a tradition when we have transitions, and it's a wonderful tradition in San Jose that a basket of books is donated by their colleagues, and every council member picks their favorite book to go in the basket, and it's used for library collections and library literacy programs. And so I just wanted to say a couple words about our mayor. I did want to say, Sam has been with the city as a council member for 8 years, and our mayor for 8 years. Pretty much my entire tenure here has been with Mayor Sam, and has been such an incredible leader for the city. Obviously, for the library, I will say that during his tenure, our library hours increased by 76%. So personally, that's I'm extremely excited about that and a big accomplishment. And that is actually the tenure of most of this council as well. And so the support that they've given us, we also wanted to thank you, Mayor. And sorry, we're used to being able to throw him into any situation, and he just, handles it beautifully. So I'm going to turn it over to Jennifer for some last words, and then we're going to take a photo with a basket. So we'll get that. Go ahead.
So yes, we're definitely winging this. Let's see. Anyway, I just wanted to thank you all. Thank you. I just wanted to thank you all for your years of service. It's been a pleasure to be your city manager for the last almost year and a half. You've all been really amazing for our community, for our city, and I really want to thank you for taking us through very, very tough times, especially the most recent one, which has been our COVID-19 pandemic. You're all going to be tremendously missed, and the staff and the city are better for your service, and so is our community for sure. So thank you very much.
Mayor, is it appropriate for us to weigh in on this topic? Is it appropriate for us to? I will not have the last word in that regard. But while you're taking a picture, I'd just like to say it's really been a pleasure serving with all of you and learning from you and witnessing your passion, your advocacy, your support for the community. You are to be celebrated and commended for all that you have done, and I will certainly miss having you up on the dais with us, but I know you're all going to do good work wherever you're going, and I just want to thank you for your mentorship and doing and paying attention and doing what the city needs to move us forward. Thank you all.
Thank you, Councilmember Foley, for the kind words, and thank you, Jill, for your kind words, and everyone. Okay, we got to get back to work now. So the plan was to keep on going until 12:30. We'll take a break at that time and come back at 1:30, just so we can all orient ourselves. We'll start off here with the consent calendar. Are there some items to be pulled? Let me identify a list of items that have already been identified by my colleagues. First, Councilmember Carrasco would like to pull item 2.13. Those are actions related to the agreement with the Mission Asset Fund for Berryessa Flea Market Business Transition Program. Councilmember Cohen and I would like to pull item 2.7, which relates to the North San Jose agreement. Councilmember Esparza would like to pull item 2.27, which is the purchase and sale agreement with the County of Santa Clara for the property at Tours and Capitol. And then, yep, I think those are all the ones I have listed here, but if there are others, please let me know. I'm looking on my screen now, and I don't see anyone indicating a desire to pull any other items. We certainly have many of them on consent. So let's go in order, in sequence, and then we'll consider a motion. Item 2.7 is a settlement with the County of Santa Clara related to North San Jose. I just wanted to pull this to thank an awful lot of folks. Now, Councilmember Cohen, I'm sure will as well, but I guess it doesn't hurt to thank everybody twice. First, I want to thank an awful lot of our team members who've been working very hard to bring this to completion. In the City Attorney's Office, Johnny Fan, Nancy Klein over at OED, Chris Burton, both OED and Planning and Building, John Risto and Jessica Zank, and Ramses Madhu and Zahir Gulzada over at Department of Transportation. And Zahir, I think I just mispronounced your last name, so please forgive me. Gulzadeh, did I get closer? All right, I'll keep working. Okay, in any event, I'm going to get it right. And I want to thank, Councilmember Cohen and his team, Stacey Brown in particular. I know there's been a lot of energy invested from our teams mutually in this, but Councilmember Cohen's really shown a great amount of leadership in trying to continue to bring the parties together on this. And more than once, I know we've all thrown up our hands on this issue. But many years in coming, we're finally at a point where we can say we can build housing again in North San Jose with the county's and the city's approval. And in past months, sort of the nod of Milpitas and the city of Santa Clara, we know we have a very serious housing crisis, and we can only make progress if we're able to build housing, including affordable housing. On my own team, I also want to thank former members of our team, Kelly Klein and Nathan Ho is now over at the Housing Authority, and Robin Sahid is over now with the city manager's office in OED, I believe. And certainly grateful as well to Michael Lomio and everyone else who has been doing the heavy lifting for many years now to finally get us to a point where we're able to agree and move forward. Councilmember Cohen.
Yeah, thank you, Mayor. Thank you for the kind words and for thanking the folks who were instrumental in getting this done. You know, we haven't built a single unit of housing in North San Jose since 2014, and we've been held up by old agreements that are clearly outdated. And it seems like our default position is to always end up in court battling these things out. That's not, I don't think that's the best way to solve our problems. So I felt it was better to bring parties together, work things out in an amicable way, at least to try. I'm glad we were able to get everybody together from the county and city to resolve our differences. And I do want to thank also our valuable partners, Supervisors Otto Lee and Cindy Chavez, who worked to bring the counterparts together from the county side when we had that meeting 7 weeks ago. About 7 weeks ago, we all sat down and said, what can we do to hash this out? What are our differences and what can we give? And that 7-week intervening period was quite frantic and busy, and a lot of folks were instrumental in getting that done. First, I want to thank my Chief of Staff, Stacey Brown, who helped us coordinate all those meetings and got the folks together in the room and had a lot of the ideas that helped us move forward. And then our city attorney's office, Nora and her office, but particularly Johnny Fan. I was on the phone with him pretty much every day last week as we were hashing out the final details of what was going on and finding out what were the differences so I could call the counterparts in the county and say, here's what we have to work out in the last few days. Nancy Klein from OED, along with Chris Burton from Planning, Rosalind Huey from the City Manager's Office, John Risto and your team, Trent DOT, Ramses and Jessica, really were important as part of this because transportation really were the big sticking points. So having DOT involved helped us get there. this whole agreement shows the power of collaboration, working together with people who have the same objectives. There's no question that everyone is aligned with wanting to build more housing in Santa Clara County. So it was great that we got this across the finish line, and I look forward to a lot of housing development in North San Jose moving forward, hoping that North San Jose will fulfill its potential to bring new life to our city. So I'm excited about this and just glad that we've gotten to this point, and want to thank everyone who helped us get here.
Thank you. Also want to give a shout out to a lot of community organizations who stood with us to try to push through these roadblocks with various cities in the county, and folks like housing, I'm sorry, Silicon Valley at Home, and Silicon Valley Leadership Group, and YIMBY and many other organizations that have stood up repeatedly to say, let's get past these roadblocks and build housing. So great work by everybody in city staff, and we're grateful to be at this point. Let's go to public comment on this item.
Catherine Hedges.
Good morning, Mayor and Council and the Housing Department. I'm speaking today on behalf of the Sacred Heart Housing Action Committee, and I'd like to say congratulations that we will be building housing, and that 20% will be affordable. However, we are concerned that affordable can mean anything up to 80% of the area median income. And how much of the affordable housing in North San Jose is going to be for extremely low income or very low income people? These are the people who need housing the most. And there's a lot of jobs up there for people who are not in the tech industry, who are not making 80% AMI. People who work at Target at the North First complex, people who clean the tech companies, they all need a place to live too. So please make sure to include as much ELI and VLI affordable housing as possible in North San Jose. Thank you very much.
Elaine Breeze.
Good afternoon, Mayor Liccardo and City Council members. My name is Elaine Breeze, and on behalf of Summerhill Housing Group, I want to sincerely thank Councilmember Cohen, city staff, and the county for their leadership and hard work to bring this agreement before you today. We're very excited that with the approval of this agreement together, Summerhill Apartment Communities and Summerhill Homes will be able to provide new housing in North San Jose. Thank you again.
Paul Soto.
Yeah, Paul Soto from the Horseshoe. First of all, 80% of the median income, that is the standard. Catherine Hedges is absolutely correct on that. Now, in 5 years, what is 80% of the median income going to be? If right now at this time, it's $135,000 per year. That's what the area median income is right now as of today. Okay? So in 5 years, guaranteed, absolutely guaranteed, it's going to be anywhere from $180,000 to $200,000 per year. 80% of that would put it about más o menos $140,000 per year. If 46% of Santa Clara County earns right now today under $50,000 per year, and these are facts. Check your data. Check your data. I want somebody to come to this meeting and call me a liar. Say you are lying. That is absolutely false. I dare someone to do that because what I'm saying is 100% factual truth. So while you congratulate yourselves on being such wonderful people and caring about housing, look at the way you word things. Yeah, let's build more housing. Let's build more housing. What I want to see is a cap. I want market rate housing and these 80% affordable housing, because what the developer's going to do is all he's going to do is buy his way out of them. He's going to buy all of that 20%. He's going to buy back those, and then he's going to turn around and sell them at a profit. That's what kind of chicanery and that's what kind of duplicity that is happening in this city. You guys are disgusting.
Back to the council.
All right, on that bright note. Hey, I wanted to first also correct, I didn't get the full list of organizations. I just want to thank them all for standing with us. California YIMBY, Housing Action Coalition, Eden Housing, First Community Housing, Catalyze Silicon Valley, Spur, Greenbelt Alliance, California Apartment Association, Silicon Valley, or San Jose Chamber rather, Silicon Valley at Home I mentioned, Silicon Valley Leadership Group. Appreciate all their efforts to push with us. Okay, now we can go build some housing. We will move forward. I did not pull one item that I would like to pull, and that's 2.9. And that is the Team San Jose and Convention and Visitors Bureau Performance Report Annual Review. And I would like to ask a question. And I don't know if that's Carrie or, oh, we have folks making their way. Nancy, thank you. The question asked, and thank you everybody for coming down. I appreciate that that we had much lower expectations this year than we've had in past years with the pandemic. Obviously, they exceeded their targets, which is a good thing. I guess my question really is more for Carrie. How are we going to adjust these targets upward as we hope we're getting to a place where we can demand more, expect more, and then see more results?
Thank you, Mayor. Carrie Adams-Hackner, Director of the Office of Cultural Affairs, and I manage these contracts on behalf of the City Manager's Office. Excellent question, and I just want to assure you and the full council that Team San Jose is striving to exceed and to excel, and is really their goal to continue to push the envelope. What we will be doing is negotiating our metrics for next fiscal year. It'll be presented to the full council in the form of an MBA as part of the budget process.
Okay, but we will be seeing these metrics go up, I assume, right?
Absolutely.
Okay, great. And I appreciate, obviously, the need to have more accommodating metrics. And thanks to the work, by the way, of our city auditors team to make sure that they're meeting them. One issue I know that remains, it's a really important issue for the vibrancy of our downtown is, you know, as we speak, I know Live Nation is negotiating with the city of Santa Clara for major future shows right next door. And I can imagine the sucking sound we're going to hear in the downtown of people fleeing to run next door to major shows because Live Nation is attracting, frankly, better acts than we're seeing in our own Civic. And we could have Live Nation here if we were willing to allow Live Nation to compete for our city facilities. And I know that there are holes that need to be filled in budgets that we're going to be helping with as a city. Are we going to insist and hold Team San Jose's feet to the fire to say, if you're going to get public money, we're going to demand more and have great promoters like Live Nation bringing bigger acts to San Jose to bring more vitality here to our downtown. Thanks, Nancy.
Mayor, thank you for bringing this up. Nancy Klein, Office of Economic Development, Cultural Affairs. Staff from OEDCA definitely agrees with you. We believe Live Nation presents a great opportunity to partner in our city, and there are conversations moving forward as you suggested.
Okay. I just hope that we're making it contingent, that if they're going to get more help from us, they need to open up the doors because we should demand more. We have an opportunity, I think, not just with Live Nation, but other promoters that can simply bring bigger shows, better acts, and more people. And I think our downtown deserves that. And certainly our restaurants and our other venues do.
If I could add one quick, Joe Roy, City Auditor.
Yes, thank you, Joe.
Representatives of Team San Jose are here on Zoom if you have any questions directly for them.
Thank you very much. Wonderful. Okay, Councilman Jimenez.
Yeah, Mayor, to your point, I guess I'd like to better understand what the challenges are with working with Live Nation.
There are several. Team San Jose does a great job right now of operating the facilities and making sure that any Live Nation or any other addition would be accretive, would actually help. We believe there are ways that we could. And at the same time, we want to acknowledge that the team in place is doing a very good job and it's an opportunity to do yet better.
So I guess I'm, obviously City of Santa Clara has a stadium, right? Massive venue, and I'm just
Well,
curious.
actually, no, we're talking about smaller venues that are under development now.
Okay.
And what I'm concerned about is essentially those venues will have the Live Nation acts, and we won't, and our downtown will be very far behind.
I understand. Okay, I'll ask my questions offline. Thank you.
Councilor Prowse?
Yeah, thank you. I've had the pleasure of serving as the liaison for our council for almost the entire 8 years now that I've been on. And I will say this particular topic has come up in conversation a number of times. Initially, simply as the opportunity presented itself with Nederlander's contract ending and then giving an opportunity to them or another operator like Live Nation. I know the initial conversations did not go very well between Live Nation and Team San Jose on what a contract might look like. And obviously Team San Jose is looking for the best opportunity out there, which would include both acts as well as employment opportunities, revenue share, you name it, right? So it's running a business and it has not been as easy as just, hey, Live Nation is the big fish. We can't forget Live Nation is at SAP Center, so it's not that we don't have Live Nation shows here in our city. But I would agree, right? If there is an opportunity, we don't want to miss out on losing out business to a neighboring city. That's another factor. So I'd agree with the mayor. I think it's worthwhile. I have stressed that our Team San Jose team looks at how they can maybe find the best opportunities, and if that is with Live Nation, they are a tier up, right, when it comes to shows, and no knock on those that are with Nederlander, because I go to plenty of those shows, but I do think that there could be some opportunities moving forward. I will say, though, in regards to their performance, this last board meeting was rather spirited, and there are other challenges that Team San Jose is dealing with when it comes to simply just meeting their performance targets, booking out the convention center, right, filling up hotels. It is actually a pretty challenging time, and I do think that this last presentation in regards to the economics of what it's like for the convention center and Team San Jose right now are worthwhile for the council next year to dive into. So I'll recommend to our colleagues that are going to be sticking around for next year that you request a little bit more in-depth briefing from Carrie and Team San Jose that will dive into some of the nuances of what's challenging to them right now when it comes to booking. I do think we need to be competitive, and I think it goes much more beyond the contracts and something like Live Nation, and it goes deeper than that. So I think that would be worthwhile to have that conversation in the new year.
Thank you, Council Member, and I agree with you. And just for the full Council's understanding, there are semi-annual updates to CEDC, and the next one will be in March. And if you'd like, we can cross-reference that to the full Council.
That's a perfect time. Yeah, and I do think that at the stage that it's at, it does warrant a participation from the full Council in that conversation.
Thank you.
Very much appreciate the comments, Councilmember Prowse, and thank you, Carrie. All right, we'll move forward then to our next consent item that was pulled, and that was item 2.13. Councilmember Carrasco, I think you wanted to speak relating to the Berryessa Flea Market Business Transition Program.
I did, Mayor. I think there might be some folks, either online or here in person, that might want to speak on this.
Oh, you know what? I just realized I neglected public comment on the last item, didn't I? Okay, so let's do this. Let's recall item 2.9, which is the Team San Jose audit. And if we could have public comment on that first, and then we'll go forward with the public comment on the second item.
Paul Soto?
Yes, thank you, Paul Soto from the Horseshoe. One of the things that I'd like to point out is that 14% of all taxes collected in motels and hotels goes to Team San Jose. Well, there's a large population of my population, and that is the people that are experiencing extreme poverty, and I'm one of them. I come from the tents. We rent hotels. We do rent hotels, or the city pays for them. And so there's tax money being used in order to fund the home, being extracted from homeless people that don't really have anything, that is being used to finance this. I just wanted to point that out. Secondly, while I can appreciate that there are very fragile egos that are afraid of people, getting ahead of them, and that is what's driving policy, I have an issue with that too. I have an issue with the fact that the city resources are being used to serve my mayor's ego, because he doesn't want to be left behind, because what he has accomplished in life thus far is not good enough. And so I think there's a very deep-rooted and seated insecurity.
We lost Paul, so going back to council.
Okay, thank you. All right, that concludes public comment. We haven't yet taken a vote on it. We're going to move forward now to item 2.13, and I invite members of the public to comment on 2.13, which are actions related to the agreement with Mission Asset Fund for the Berryessa Flea Market Business Transition Program.
Okay, I have Roberto Gonzalez here in the council chambers.
Hi, Mayor and Council. My name is Roberto Gonzalez, and I'm here in my capacity as President of the Berryessa Flea Market Vendors Association. I'm just here to urge your guys' approval on this contract. This is something that the BFEA has been advocating since the beginning of the year, and I just want to definitely shout out the team over at OED, including Nancy, Lori, Nathan, and Adolfo for really hearing us out. Definitely getting used to the bureaucratic process, and we know it takes a while, but we are happy to get here to this moment, and we just urge all of you to approve this contract. Mission Asset Fund, also want to shout out Jose Quiñones, their executive director, who was also a vendor at the flea market years ago and had family there. So he understands the needs of the vendors and understands really well that it's not a one-stop shop for all, right? Each single business owner out there needs the certain attention and the certain resources to set them up for the future. And this is what this contract will do. Not only will it help folks get ready for that transition and set up for the future, but it will provide funds and capital that are needed now to sustain ourselves. There's been a lot of changes at the market that have been negatively impacting our sales, and this will let us get through, right? I know we have our doom clock coming up as well, with the potential of the market getting the 1-year notice come June of next year. So that's something that's really unsettling, but we're also looking towards the future, and that future of having a flea market stay in San Jose, other than the 5-acre market that's going to be on site. We want a market run and operated by vendors. So thank you very much.
Thank you. I appreciate your patience with the process as you described. I've been here for 16 years and I haven't figured it out yet. So, all right.
Okay, I have hands online.
Oh, you do? Okay.
Huáscar Castro.
Good afternoon, Mayor and Council. My name is Huáscar Castro, Director of Housing and Transportation Policy with Working Partnerships USA. I'm here to give public comment in support of the BFEA and their advocacy to bring direct resources and access to capital for vendors to the Berryessa flea market. Would also like to echo all the shout outs being given to all the folks, both from Mission Asset Fund and within OED, in making this opportunity come before us today. This program with Mission Asset Fund has put forward for vendor support is a great first step in helping prepare vendors for the future, while also giving them the tools they need to support their businesses now. And we look forward to further opportunities to better support and advocate for vendors in the coming years. Thank you very much.
Mariana Mejia.
Good afternoon, Mayor and Council. My name is Mariana Mejia, the Vice President of the Berryessa Flea Market Vendor Association. I'm happy to say that this contract was worked to be achieved with real collaboration. The BFBA has worked and advocated for this contract to become a reality. It shows what can happen if you're not only at the menu, but also at the table. Not only for vendors to get capital, but also help with resources, with retirement if they need to expand their business. Since the vote took place to resume the flea market, changes at the market as parking increases, walking fees, and asking vendors to pay 6 months lease upfront have never impacted business. We have to work together to prevent displacement now. The BFBA will continue advocating and working towards a new market. I want to thank the OED staff for their work, and it's honestly going to be a pleasure. I say the same thing as my colleagues. It's been amazing working with Lori, Nathan, Adolfo. Knowing that we are heard in a city level has made a change, not only to us, but also vendors. I encourage council to approve the mission asset contract. Thank you.
Israel Garcia. Israel Garcia.
Bueno, buenos días. Mi nombre es Israel García. Soy parte de los vendedores de la pulga. Quisiera comentarles que desde la votación para aprobar la reunificación del mercado hemos sufrido pues impactos negativos en nuestros negocios. Y sí me gustaría que nos apoyaran para pasar el programa de MAP, ya que con ese dinero podemos recapitalizar nuestros negocios, aparte de que ahorita la temporada de lluvia, la situación económica, la alza del parking en la pulga nos ha afectado pues muy fuerte en el negocio. Aparte de que la oportunidad de tener un entrenamiento y soporte técnico nos da un beneficio para continuar con nuestros negocios. Así que pues, les pido el consejo que por favor aprueben el contrato con Mission Asset Fund para que podamos continuar con nuestros negocios. Y aprovecho también para agradecerle al alcalde y a todos los concejales que nos han apoyado todo este tiempo, y en particular también que el alcalde en la junta del año pasado, en febrero, yo le hice la recomendación de que pasara a visitarnos a la pulga, y le doy gracias por su tiempo, se tomó esa molestia de ir a visitarnos, y pues es todo mi comentario.
Before I go on to the next speaker, I wanted to note I don't have interpreters until the 1:30 session. So I know several of you on the council speak Spanish and understood his comment, but I don't have interpreters until 1:30. So the next speaker is Alma. Alma.
Hi, I'm sorry. Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Thank you. My name is Alma Jacobo, and I'm with the Berryessa Flea Market Vendors Association. I'm a second generation of vendors. My family's been there for over 30 years now. And ever since the approval for the reasoning of the flea market, the raising of the parking lot prices has hardly affected our businesses, and of course, including the weather in the last month. And for these and many reasons, there is a need for access to capital from all vendors and the programs that MAF, Mission Asset Fund, is providing, and it will give access to all the income levels at the market. And also, well, we are looking forward to have possibly a one-on-one coaching and technical support. We urge the council to approve this contract with Mission Asset Fund. And I also want to thank Council Member Magdalena Carrasco for her support, and also Mr. Jesus Flores with Latino Business Foundation, who they've been always supporting us and guiding us to do a better job as an association. Thank you.
Catherine Hedges.
Thank you very much, Mayor and Council. I'm basically, sorry. I know Ken Lice SB has supported the flea market vendors in the past, so I just like to thank the council for providing the support to the vendors. Thank you very much.
Mario Davila. Mario.
Hola, hola, ¿me escucha?
Hello.
Hola, ¿me escucha?
Yes.
Ok, soy Mario Dávila, miembro de la Asociación de Vendedores. Vengo vendiendo en el flea market desde el 2009, o sea, 13 años. Desde la votación para aprobar la reunificación del mercado, cambios con el aumento del parking, etcétera, mi negocio ha sufrido un impacto negativo y supongo a todos los demás vendedores. Prácticamente estamos sobreviviendo. Existe la necesidad de acceso al capital para todos los vendedores y los programas que ofrecen MAF darían acceso a todos los niveles de ingresos en el mercado. El entrenamiento 1-1 en el soporte técnico es algo que también espero que sea muy beneficioso para nosotros. Les pedimos al Consejo que aprueben este contrato con Mission Asset Fund para que sea de gran beneficio para todos nosotros. Muchas gracias a todos.
Catalyze SV.
Hey, good afternoon, Council. This is Alex Shore with Catalyze SV, continuing to be in coalition with a number of other organizations in support of the Berryessa Flea Market Vendors and the Berryessa Flea Market Vendors Association, which has played a leading role in bringing Mission Asset Fund to the table. It's just so great to continue to read and hear stories of people who are touched personally by the flea market. Just reading today in the memo about the chief executive of Mission Asset Fund, from him to Councilmember Pam Foley, who used to sell at the market. So many San Joseans and beyond have been touched by this market, either as vendors or as customers. It's so crucial we continue to have this as a place in our city. So while today's action is great and it accomplishes one of the key goals of the city's role, which is to support the vendors to ensure that they are whole during this transition period, let's keep our eye on the ball for this council and the next one to come soon, which is to ensure that there is a place for the flea market in San Jose for decades to come. Whether it's at this site or another, the council will be needed to play a role in that. And so we continue to ask you to focus on this issue, keep it in your mind, and stay in touch with the Flea Market Vendors Association, our coalition, as we work toward that important goal. Thanks to staff, MAF, and the flea market vendors for all working on this together. Great next step in supporting these small businesses and these San Joseans.
Blair Beekman.
Hi, Blair Beekman. Happy last meeting to everyone. Happy December. Or last meeting to some, I guess. I just wanted to thank the city of San Jose, developers and vendors for working on good solutions. And I think you're finding some interesting ways to be working on the future of the flea market. Thank you. It's interesting to watch this process develop, and this seems like a really good item today that I hope will continue to develop into the future well. And I just wanted to remind in the importance of that I feel vendors can hopefully learn how to ask how they can help in the future development of the complex itself. And along with the other items that you guys have been working on together, for developers to have a hand in how the future of the flea market will look and feel, and if they can have a bit more room in the future on top of all of that, good luck on those sort of efforts and work. I think it can make for something very organic and I don't know, working class, just have a really interesting feel about it that will feel like, this was our San Jose. And it's our past San Jose and it's our future San Jose. And it's good luck on those sort of efforts. Thank you.
Back to council.
Thank you. All right, coming back to council, I'm mindful we're just about 12:30. Why don't we have the discussion on this item, which is 2.13, then we'll break for lunch and come back on 2.27.
Mayor, 2.27 will be less than a minute.
Okay.
We can get consent done, I think, before we go.
Okay, I know we'll have public comment, though, also on the whole consent agenda, so
Okay.
we're going to need some more time.
And I'll keep my comments
Okay.
short, if I may.
Uh-huh.
Thank you. I want to thank the callers that called in, and of course, Roberto. I want to thank OED and truly everyone that's been involved in getting us to this point. It goes without saying, I think we've said it enough actually, the flea market for many of us holds very significant memories, whether it's added to the quality of life of our own particular families. I used to hang out there every Sunday with my father, or individuals like Councilmember Foley, who sold at the flea market many years ago, right? Or maybe just a couple of years ago before you became a council member. The flea market has really been such a significant element in the city of San Jose and really the entire region, adding to our cultural vibrancy and to the economics of our families and our area. So it hasn't been easy. I don't think that it will be easy moving forward. I think that this is wonderful. I just want to keep it on everyone's radar that these are families who are truly still in danger of losing their livelihood, and because of their contributions to our area, I just really believe that it is our duty and responsibility to support them as they transition into a, evolution or progress is not always an easy thing, and it's sometimes questionable by some. But as we're transitioning, I do hope that we continue to keep our eye on the ball and making sure that our vendors are supported, they're trained, they're giving the resources, the services, so that they can continue to provide for their families. I want to add also what a proud moment it is for me to have Roberto here, who is part of my team. His work ethic and his integrity, words fail me to describe his work ethic and his integrity. Coming into my office, I knew I wanted this young man to come and work for the east side of San Jose. But we made sure to set up some firewalls so that there was no conflict of interest, and so that the work that he needed to get done in his other role as the president of the association was never brought into question in terms of his duties to my office, and it never was. And so to see him here today and know that he will continue moving the needle and truly supporting our vendors, it was a proud moment for me. I do want to say that as I'm closing up my office, to see our team members moving on and developed is the thing that we can only expect to happen. But to see Roberto moving on to work full-time and dedicated to that passion that he has in supporting those families, congratulations, Roberto. You make me very proud.
All right, thank you. Any other comments on this item? Okay. Councilmember Esparza has promised me we'll be quick on 2.27.
Thank you, Mayor. We have a theme today, a theme of collaboration, and I wanted to echo Councilmember Cohen's comments, thanking the county. I wanted to pull this comment just to talk about how important this sale is. This is going to allow us to build Fire Station 36 at the corner of Tours and Capitol. This station is going to serve a very busy area, and as with the new Station 32 at Felipe Olander area, Station 36 will help relieve the burden on Station 26, which, as I've pointed out many times before, is not only the busiest station in the city, but one of the busiest in the entire state. Getting to that point has taken a lot of hard work from a lot of people, and I'd like to recognize everyone on our city staff. Matt Cano, Nancy Klein, Kevin Ice, Chief Robert Sapien, Deputy Chief Aaron Frailer, and I'd especially like to thank Supervisor Cindy Chavez and our partners at the county, including James Williams and Harry Freitas, who worked with us to make this possible. to bring Station 36 online. That's going to do a lot of good in a part of the city that really needs it. And although this is a much smaller thing than some of the other things that the city and the county work on, it shows that when we talk, when we work together for the common good, we can get things done. And with that, I'd like to move to approve the consent.
Okay, that motion is the entire consent calendar, sound like, is that right?
Correct.
All right, we'll take that motion. Okay, let's go to the public.
And this is comment for the entire consent calendar, Blair
Yes.
Beekman.
Hi, Blair Beekman here. Thanks to Councilperson Esparza for working out how to end consent before break time. Thanks. I just wanted to quickly offer, there's a few consent calendar items dealing with the future of traffic study programs and the importance that we practice openness and accountability in the future of the statistics of our traffic issues. I hope we can continue those good efforts into 2023 and 24 and beyond. And always an importance of how openness and accountability with tech practices and not doubling up and tripling up and quadrupling up on tech, but you know, just one piece of tech in an area can usually cover the job. And we have to learn practices like that. And good luck to openness and accountability in the future process of the public safety questions of that we need for the future of San Jose. Thank you.
Back to the council.
All right, let's vote on the consent calendar.
Mayor, I did have my hand up.
Oh, I'm sorry, Councilmember Pross.
One brief comment on item 2.2B, and this is just to say thank you to Matt Cano. My colleagues may recall I scolded him earlier this year on trying to get the update to our grooming ordinance brought forward, and it was actually passed last week. This is just the second reading, so nothing like waiting until the very last minute. This is something that we've been working on since 2016, actually started with John Cicerelli, and I know our community member Nori is very, very happy to have this ordinance updated, but no, I truly want to say thank you, Matt, and everybody that played a part to get this together. I know it shows the strain on our staff to try to get some of this work done, but thank you for getting it done before I term out.
All right, thanks, Matt, for making us a better groomed city. Here we go, let's vote.
Jimenez,
Yes.
Morales,
Yes.
Cohen,
Aye.
Roscoe,
Aye.
Davis,
Yes.
Esparza,
Yes.
Arenas, Foley,
Aye.
Mahan,
Aye.
Jones,
Aye.
Lucardo. Thank you.
Okay, we'll come back and jump into the land use consent items when we return at 1:30. Thanks, everybody.